Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday morning to you all. Welcome to Double Game Week 28. He is all fresh and well this morning. Yeah, and of course, how did everybody's game week get on in the last game week? Yeah, so as you know, of course, I played my free hit chip in the last game week. Yeah, so that was unfortunate. So I picked up I think it was 60 points in the last game week. Yeah, so the Burnley players let me down. Including Belcost. Yeah, so I only what do you call it? It was a Captain Blank, so that was me 11th Captain Blank of the season. But I'm still going to say positive anyway. It's still a long way to go. Well, not really. It's only 10 games to go, of course. Yeah, so thank God I'm doing this live this morning. So as I course in this game week, I'm not playing me wild card. I can't play me other free hit chip because I already played it the last game week. So I made how many transfers last night? I think it was about 4 or 5. One was a free one. 2 was a 4-point hit. I made four transfers last night, so I'm taking at the moment a minus 12 point hit. Yeah, so there's my team at the moment. I got the Newcastle goalkeeper in because he's cheap, 4.4. I got Rudiger as well. Luca Digne. Yeah, I think that could have been a mistake, but we'll see. Emile Smith Rowe. Oh no, not Emile Smith Rowe. Rafinha. That's about it. Because I only had one double game week player during the week. That was Joshua King. So my team at the moment is Dubravka, Cancelo. My captain at the moment, Rudiger. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Luca Digne, Emile Smith Rowe. I think he will play. Phil Foden, Rafinha, Salah, Lacazette, and up front, Joshua King. My subs are Ramsdale, Jared Bowen, Dawson, and Belcost. So that's my team. My vice captain, by the way, is Rafinha, because he's on penalties for Leeds as well. And of course, Bielsa got the sack last Sunday. Just to let you know as well. Yeah, he'd be a big miss because he was a good manager. Maybe not defensive. He was more of a attacking manager, as you could say, as well. Yeah. Pretty late for you. Yeah. So Andy is going live at 9:30. Who else is going live? Dylan. No, he won't be going live today because he went live last night. Fantasy football cast. That'll be going live at 20 minutes before the deadline. And what else? Can't see what else is live. Oh, I think I missed that part, Chesty. FPL. The show that I usually watch as well. Yeah. What's going on here? Oh, Q&A. No, don't do Q&A. Well, if you just want to answer me questions next season. Oh, of course, there's a new thing now. Yeah. How are you all keeping anyway? This morning, did you just have a good night's sleep? Of course, I got a big match this afternoon. It's the Tala Derby. We're away to Tala United's church this afternoon as well. So I'm going to take you watch FPL because I didn't see it all yesterday. So maybe part one and a little bit of part two. Yesterday. Yeah, by the way, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. I have 98 subscribers at the moment. That's why I'm on live, because I don't know how to go to YouTube live, to be honest with you. I did press it, but they won't let me in, like. Of course. Oh, Tom's team. He has. Oh, he's got 5 double game week players. Oh, he's got rid of Josh King. Wow. I won't get rid of Josh King because he's on penalties. What happens if he scores a penalty for Watford? Gets Arsenal today. What could happen? Yeah, I was actually going to get Max Kilman last night, but I can see I could actually see Crystal Palace scoring against Wolves. Who knows? And Watford, you never know, could score against Wolves as well. Who knows? Yeah, that's right. Got the bracket in. Even though he might not pick up clean sheets, but he does get a lot of save points for Newcastle.
Yeah, so I've got 2 free transfers this week, and I'm possibly eyeing up -4 to sort it out and get a few more double game players in. So possibly looking at doing Tarkowski to Rudiger.
I would have gotten Coutinho. You never know, it could, but it would be for another minus 4 points, so that'd be a 16-point hit if I was to get Coutinho in last minute. It's not worth it. I don't think it's not worth it.
Okay, well, good luck sorting out both of your teams. You look so nervous.
Yeah, I think DU was a mistake, but I can't change it now, to be honest with you.
These guys will be answering your Twitter questions, but before then, let's check out
as well. It is what it is. Fantasy stats. Oh, Fernandez had 8 shots the last game week. Son 4 shots on target. Fraser 7 chances created. Wayne Fraser, wow. Ray, the Prepper keeper made 9 saves. 9. Ronaldo 13 touches in the box. 4 prowls. 13 corner kicks. No way. And of course, Matt Doherty got the Irishman got the highest points in the last game week. He actually got 18 points. Would you believe it or not? Would you believe it or not? The last game week. Time to answer some Twitter questions. If you have any questions, answer away. For this double game week.
I just say take some time to look at the fixtures, examine what's there, and make sure that you're building your team to suit the complex period that's coming up. If you
check what else.
Used your wild card, if you hadn't, when would you use it? I'd probably use it this week if I was. You would? Yeah. If I had a free
Yeah.
Magic Land where I get the chips wherever
Get
I
the
want.
clips.
Game would remind me when I free hit. But yeah, 28 for the wild card makes a lot of sense to me. Okay.
Okay, this next tweet has come in from Bigfoot, who said, "Is it time to part ways with Beckhorst? Clearly, Bigfoot
Is it-
had him last week and is so angry about the double. What do you think, Wes?"
Yeah, I've got him in my team. I think it is a good time to get rid of him now because obviously he's run out of double game weeks and he's going to blank in game week 30 as well. And yeah, tough-ish fixtures coming up. So yeah, I think it's a good chance to move on to a double game week striker now.
Do you agree, Tom?
Yeah, time to boot Beckhorst, I think.
Time to boot Beckhorst, I think.
Probably. Well, maybe Breuer, I think. Breuer.
Loves Breuer, that
I
man.
do. I really do. I was so overwhelmed.
Next question. Man United assets. Is it time to get rid? There you go. That asks.
Yeah, I actually got rid of De Gea and Delot last night as well.
Champions League games in there, no double coming up, and a blank in 30. Expensive assets that have convinced me. Tom, do you agree? Exactly. Okay.
This next week come in
Next week.
Lyle, who says, "Is 3 Chelsea too much?" Lyle clearly getting very excited by Chelsea's double game that they've got coming up. What do you think, Tom?
It's a very good double game week.
I'm not getting Havertz in. Don't forget what happened to me during the season when Chelsea beat Norwich. I think it was 7 or 8-0 in game week 9, and Havertz was the only one that didn't get me any returns that game week. But it's one of those things.
Sounds like a lot. 3 defenders, so you wouldn't go for any of the midfield options.
I don't like any of the midfield options right now. I just can't trust him to start. I was liking looking Ziyech a couple of weeks ago, but now I think he's struggling with injury, so I just wouldn't know where to go if I did go for a midfielder.
I see. All right.
I see.
Juan or Jimenez at Wolves. Who's the more likely to start?
Who's the more likely to start?
Emoji. Like, we just don't know at the moment, unfortunately. I mean, Juan, the difference in price.
Juan, the difference.
Jimenez could be something that could push you.
That could push you.
Historically, Jimenez has been very, very useful to managers.
Very, very useful.
You're going to have to do over the double game week. Despite looking good, the uncertainty might make me think, I'm not sure. Right, even if he does start.
Even if he does start.
9 games of his last 12, he hasn't had a shot on target.
Yeah, that's right. But
Yeah, that's right.
I would still go for Raul Jimenez over Juan because
I won't get Jimenez. I know he's on penalties, but he only gets one goal per game. That's the problem. I know he's a good player and he is consistent, but he doesn't get 2 goals a game.
One word answer's going to run out of time. What would you say, Tom?
Robertson.
Simple.
All right.
Robinson simple. Of course, Diaz will be playing against us tomorrow. Against United, but to be fair, I'm still not confident in the Manchester Derby tomorrow. People are looking forward to it, but I'm not. I think C are going to hammer us about 3 or 4-0 tomorrow. The way we've been playing all season, we've been very, very poor this year.
Double candidates, 4 with the double, 1 with a single. We've got Breuer with Villa, Newcastle with Rafinha, Leicester away, Villa at home, Coutinho to home, Southampton at home, Leeds away, Willock.
1 like so far. Keep those likes coming.
With just the 1 fixture.
With just the 1 fixture.
Total points in their past 4 appearances.
If you have any questions about your team, the deadline closes at 11 o'clock this morning for double game week 28. So don't forget to tune in. Good morning, General Ireland. Are you fresh and well this morning, mate? Same team over and over again.
Are you as confident about Salah's chances in that game?
Of course, Salah went up this week, by the way. He's 13.2 now. Can't backfire. Keep those likes coming. Maybe because I forgot to press those things. Maybe a couple of weeks ago, maybe that could be the problem. Yeah. 200 likes, wow. Thank you very much, everybody. Yeah, so, and the love hearts as well. Keep those coming as well. Yeah. Maybe I could get Coutinho, but the only problem is I would have to get rid of Foden. But I don't think it's worth it. Don't think it's worth it. Oh, God. I don't think it's worth it, though, to get rid of Foden, to be honest with you. Because I can't get rid of Bone, because I'm not going. I won't have enough money for Coutinho. Anyway, that's the reason.
Okay, I'll go Boyer.
Tom, what about you?
Still on Salah, but Boyer's the revelation for me today. Such a nice man. The Albanians were not.
Oh, he's Albanian. But to be fair, that's going to be okay for Southampton no matter what. Because they actually had a game in midweek as well. They actually had a game. Oh, by the way, congratulations to Southampton. Beat West Ham in the FA Cup. And who else got through? Chelsea got through. Only just about. Luton gave them a good game. Who else went through? Liverpool beat Norwich in the All Premier League tie as well. And who else? Who else won? Everton won the other night. They came to that for Bournemouth. But to be fair, no shame on Bournemouth. They're having a good season. I think they're having a good season in the conference as well. Gonna check on my phone. See where Bournemouth are in the league. Of course, that's where Arsenal ladies play their home matches at Bournemouth's ground as well. So I'm gonna check non-league. The conference. Check where are they? They're fourth in the table at the moment, but they've loads of games in hand. If they win 3 games in hand, they go 1 point ahead of Stockport if they win all 3 games in hand. Yeah, and who else? Yeah, Stockport County are top of that league. Yeah, but I don't really concentrate in the conference, to be honest with you. Or other leagues, that's the problem as well. So I'm going to check the fixtures on today. The early kickoff is Leicester against Leeds, 12:30. 3 o'clock, Aston Villa against Southampton. Burnley against Chelsea. Of course, Burnley picked up a good point away at Chelsea earlier in the season. Newcastle against Brighton. Brighton have been very poor the last 2 or 3 matches. Conceded 5 goals in 2 matches. I could see Newcastle beating them today. Norwich against Brentford. To be fair, that's a big game. Wolves against Palace. And at 5:30, Liverpool against West Ham. And tomorrow, at 2 o'clock, Watford against Arsenal. 4:30, Manchester City against Man United. That's what I'm not looking forward to. And on Monday night, Tottenham against Everton. The double game week. Thursday, all the matches are Thursday. Wolves against Watford. Southampton against Newcastle. Norwich against Chelsea. And a new managers list. Leeds against Aston Villa. Now that would be good. Don't forget what happened last time to treat those 2. It finished 3-3. And Coutinho got 2 goals and assists in that game. I think he got 3 bonus, I think, as well. And Dan James got 2 goals as well for Leeds in that match as well. So it's going to be a cracker. I think it was a mistake getting Dini in, but as I said, I can't change it now. It is what it is. Yeah, what was I thinking? But you have to make those transfers. You have to make them. When Liverpool's next match? Oh, it's this evening, pal. This evening. Now we see what happens during the week anyway. I could actually see Newcastle beating Brighton today. But you never know. Brighton are 10th in the table. Newcastle have been on form the last few weeks. Eddie Howe's a good manager. He did a great job at Bournemouth. Jesus, Everton are only 1 point ahead of relegation. Well, lucky for them. They've one game in hand on Burnley. Jesus, Everton only 1 point from relegation. But to be fair, they got games in hand on Leeds, Brentford. Brentford are in trouble now. That was a great introduction last week that Ericsson came on for Brentford last week. But to be fair, we knew that Brentford were going to be down there no matter what. And Newcastle went above Brentford in the table last week. Yeah. Yeah, so I think favourites to go down at the moment are Norwich and Watford. I think they're going down this year, back to the Championship. That last relegation place, it's going to be close, I think. Top four, Liverpool, Chelsea, and ourselves. So we're not going to finish in the top four this year, United. I don't want to finish in the top four this year because we're simply not good enough. We dropped too many points against smaller teams this year. And I think the favourites now to finish in the top four are Arsenal. They're favourites to finish in the top four and for that last Champions League spot. And so far this year, I think they deserve it at the moment. Yeah. Jesus. I was expecting Leicester City to be down there in Trout. But to be fair, they have picked up a lot of injuries this year. I think they will finish in the top 10 eventually this year. Because they got games that they've only played 24 matches. And they got games in hand as well. God, it's so tight. It really is. At the moment. I'm going to take you to, what do you call it, the Championship, if I can get it. Championship. Oh, big game. Fulham against Brentford today. What? Are you serious? Huddersfield are now second in the table. But to be fair, they played them 5 games more than Bournemouth. What? Huddersfield second in the table. But they're not going to say they're long. Bournemouth have 5 games in hand. Well, lucky for Huddersfield. You what? Sheffield United are now in the playoffs now. What in the hell? They've turned it around. But they're not favourites to get in the playoffs. It's actually very close. Luton Town are doing very well. I would love to see Luton Town get promotion because they're playing in their new stadium next season. It's their last year at Kenilworth Road this year. I would love to see Luton Town in the Premier League because I think they were so close. I think Notts County were very close to getting in the Premier League. But they haven't been the Premier League team ever. Oh, looks like Derby County are definitely going down this year. That minus 21 points has cost Derby this year. They actually would have been safe. They would have been on 42 points. That would have put them in 16th place in the table. But unfortunately, it's one of those things. Already got a 6-point deduction as well. I didn't know that. Reading well, to be fair, championship's always tight, no matter what. Championship, it's always tight, no matter what. It's going to happen between now and the season. No matter what. Oh, what do you call it? FPL Irish. Oh, he's played his wild card. Wow. Oh, he's put Trent on the bench. Well, to be fair, he's played double game week players. God almighty. Wow. Wow. How many double game week players does he have? 4. He's decided to put Salah's captain. Would you believe it or not? Why would you not pick a captain for a double game week player? That's what I usually do. I'm actually captain a defender. It's a big gamble, I know. It's actually the second time this year that I'm captaining a defender this year. Because I captained Cancelo as well. I think Rudiger would do well. I think he could get a goal against Burnley or Norwich. Who knows? But if he gets me 2 clean sheets, that would be how many points? That would be 12 points. Well, 24 for the 2 matches. I would actually be delighted with that. Like, to be honest with you, yeah, because I need captaincy correctory down the end of the season because I've taken a minus 12 as well. But you have to take minuses when you don't have that many double game week players as well. To be fair, I'm taking a 48. It's a 48 point hit this season. At the moment, it could be more. You never know. Well, it will be more eventually. Last year, I think I took about 72. Last year, I think it was 72. Last season, account. Yeah, probably 72 last season. Yeah, 72 last season. Last season. FPL. Oh, he's played the Bradkid go. The only players I don't have is Southampton, and I don't have Wolves players either. No Wolves, no Southampton. Well, no. I think I'm going to leave it as that. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. What? €5? Jesus. Oh, God. I might not have that much money the time I get there. The time I get there today. Because first of all, I have to pay for a taxi later on because, well, depends on the match itself. Today as well. That's the problem as well. Andy should be on in a minute as well. So far, there's only been one question. Yeah, as I said to you last week as well. By game week 38, of course, I won't be on this what do you call it? This page next season. I'll be on a new page. As you know, it's FPL Ballardi 2022, 2023 season. next season. So after game week 38, I'll be on this TikTok page for the very last time when it gets to game week 38, the last day of the season this year. You should be live right now, Andy. He should be on. He should be going on any minute now. Of course, how many penalty takers do I have in my team? Rafinha, Salah, Lacazette, Joshua King. Here he is. He should come on. Better check somebody else's team. On Twitter. Oh, Sebastian Schär. 4.3 million. Could have gotten him actually, but FPL Biscuit. I've just followed him now on Twitter. He's got Sarah in goal. He's actually played his wild card. So he's played Sarah in goal, Reece James, Thiago Silva, Saiss, Mason Mount, Rafinha, Salah, Ramsey, Lacazette, Kane, and Broya. Bench. Pickford, Robertson, Martinelli, and Ben White. FPL Marty. Just followed him on Twitter as well. He's played his wild card. Oh, he's played Dubravka go. Dubravka, Cody. Oh, he's played 5 at the back. Trent, Livramento.
Good morning. I have
Rudiger, Reece James, Rafinha, Salah's captain.
I thought I'd set it up for
Boya,
to repeat.
Jimenez, and Harry Kane. Bench, Ramsdale, Ramsey,
we have an hour
Saka,
and 27
and Poland.
I've still got one transfer still.
He's decided to play captain for a single gaming player. That's Salah.
I'm definitely going to bring a Chelsea defender in, I think, because I've got no other transfers to do. And I'm going to say,
he's going to bring the Chelsea defender. Jesus, Andy's.
FPL's
Go watch Andy's YouTube channel right now. Jesus, his shirt looks fantastic. This morning, still got a beard like, well, he's got more beard than me.
What chips have they got? If they bring in this player, what's their team going to look like in 29 to 30? It's so hard to look at
It's
someone
so hard.
Right now and figure out what the hell you're supposed to do with it.
What the hell are you supposed to do with it?
27 minutes on the stream.
On the
I'll
stream?
my team up straight away. I know there's some super chats in already. Definitely, I think, look, that's proper English. Get over it.
Proper English, get over it.
I need to put some different music on for myself. I don't think I can really put Christmas songs on. I'm gonna go.
He was trying to put on the Christmas song.
Why not? Okay, where's my team?
Oh, his team.
Here it is.
Oh, he has Sarah in goal.
Any news on Werner? Yeah, he's still not doing great at Chelsea, basically.
They're still saying about Tino Werner. He's still not doing great at Chelsea. I agree. He's not.
goals.
He's got Sarah in goal, Trent.
Which I'm sure
Oh, he has Lucas Digne as well. Wow. Size.
I love the fact I've put like
Saka.
I tweeted out that I'm live until the
Son.
deadline, right? So I'm obviously on
Rafinha's
live
captain.
on
Wow.
YouTube. I love the fact that all 5 of players
Salah.
to their team saying what should I do next?
Ramsdale. Boyer.
Twitter
Jimenez.
Twitter will never change. When are you going to wake up regarding Rafinha? I woke up about 2 hours ago. No, actually, it was before. I actually woke up about. Let me work it out. So let's spend some time working out when I woke up. It's 9:35 now. I woke up about 6:48.
He woke up about 10 to 7. I actually woke up about, I think it was about nearly half 7. I got up at this morning.
Okay. James effective ownership.
Yeah, so it's bench to Bradker.
No chance will it be 120.
Lacazette.
Not a lot of people anyway.
Van Dijk. 30. How many single game replayers does he have?
Yeah, so I've not done it because
4.
there was no price rises. There was no point.
4. How many do I only have? I actually more.
Well, there was no price changes or whatever.
I have 6 single game replayers. 6.
Van Dijk to a Chelsea defender. Now
And only 5 double game replayers.
I've not really got any transfers to make that I can see anyway. So even if, like, worst case scenario, I have to reverse the transfer next week. I'm not happy about having to do that, but worst case scenario, if I have to reverse the transfer and I get no other injuries to my team, then that's okay. So I think Rudiger, possibly Reece James. Reece James is a risk. I've got it in the chat.
Reece James is a big risk.
Ultimately, I've talked about it so much. But I'm probably going to go for James and just take the risk that he starts both games, to be honest with you. If you want to go safe, you could go Rudiger. But once I do Van Dijk to the Chelsea event, I'll just bench Saka. So my bench boost is going to be the Newcastle goalkeeper.
Yeah, I could change the captain last minute. Who knows?
What could go wrong with that? Nothing. As if Watford could win 1-0, right? Oh god, it's going to be hard. It's going to be horrible. I think the thing with Reece James is I'm like almost like 99% certain he's going to get a start today.
Today?
It's just the second game. But the fact that it's on Thursday makes me think...
The fact it's on Thursday?
It's just, will he then play in game...
Not get rid of Citro because he's got a double game week next week.
It's a bit of a risk, but I've got...
It is a bit of a risk.
So I'm just going to go for it, I think. So there we go. After saying I wasn't going to talk about really different James, I've done.
Really different James.
I've even put like a pinned message with best Chelsea defender.
What cost me the money during the season? What do you call it?
Yeah, he is.
Was fucking Harvey Barnes wasn't playing well, and his price was keep on dropping.
I think I'd start Jota over Cancelo.
Earlier in the season.
I hate benching Cancelo. I really do. If you're going to keep him, I hate benching him. But
I hate benching him.
I think Jota starts.
I think Jota starts.
Rich, am I crazy captaining Ward-Prowse over Rudiger? Not crazy, but I think Ward-Prowse, I just still feel like he's too reliant on penalties for points.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a bad option this week at all, but I think Rudiger is probably better.
Yeah,
so
Rudiger's probably better.
Rodrigo worth over Jimenez. I mean, usually I would sit here and say, no, not really.
No, not really.
But that benching last week's got me a little bit worried. I just don't know.
A little bit worried.
How Rodrigo's going to play. So I think Rodrigo is the punt over Jimenez, basically. I don't know if he's worth it, but
I don't think he's worth it.
Let's get a popular question out of the way. Yeah, as if no one else is going to come in and ask it. That's always what happens on here.
So how many single game repairs does he have? He's got 4.
Debatable. I think.
And I have 6.
I think possibly. I think yes, if you can spend the money, right?
If you can spend the money.
In the next couple of weeks. I mean, it seems crazy, like talking about taking Cancelo out for a hit, but I don't think it's that crazy, to be honest with you.
Cancelo. I won't take Cancelo out. Don't forget earlier this season I actually benched him against United. Earlier this season and he picked up fucking 14 points.
A little bit trickier. Saka and Son's pretty good. If you've got no wildcard, I'd be tempted to do it. If you've got a wildcard,
I'd be tempted to do it.
I would definitely wait. Don't forget City's fixtures 29 onwards. Well, first of all, game week 29 is good because it's Palace, but then it's a blank game.
It's a
week,
blank.
So that's not good. And then they play Liverpool in game week 32, which also isn't good.
Also isn't
I'm
good.
not saying you. I don't know. I don't really know what more I can say on Cancelo. I'm not saying you get rid of him forever. And obviously, if you buy him back, it is going to cost more. My hope is that he just goes down a little bit more in price.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is going to cost more to buy back. The thing is, like Man City, they're going to play Liverpool in game week 32, and I don't think they're going to have a double to like 36.
Wow.
I don't. At the end of the day, there's loads of doubles and blanks, right? So you
Yeah.
can prioritise. Do you want to keep Cancelo because you're worried about him, and you actually think he can score really big, or do you just go for the double and bench blank players? It's up to you.
It's up to you.
Havertz or Mount? I mean, I actually really like the idea of Havertz, but the thing is, I liked the idea of Havertz last time everyone went for him, and I didn't have to get him.
Yeah.
I think Mount is safer. I think his minutes are a little bit more secure.
Yeah.
Start Cancelo or Saka. Saka for me. Oh God, I'm already dreading this stream.
I'm already dreading this stream. Oh, he's having a black current.
Yeah, the thing with
this morning
Cancelo back is, when are you actually going to want to buy him back?
Yeah.
Like, I sold him in 26. Obviously, I was able to free hit him back in 27, so that wasn't too bad.
That wasn't too bad.
I'm probably not looking to buy him back until at least game week 33 at the earliest. And if game week 33
at the earliest,
some blanks with some doubles, and then Man City don't double, he's probably not.
Man City don't double
transfer that week, so then it goes on to like game week 34.
Game week 34.
So I don't know about him. Like, I'm not trying to like play him down. Like, I know how good he is, right? You don't need me to sit here and tell you that Cancelo's great. He's absolutely brilliant.
He is. He's been good this year, Cancelo.
Well, he's been doing really well. I'm just saying. I just think the defenders over that period of time, from now until then.
Now on to then.
Cancelo smashed United last time, and he could do it again. But
yeah, that's why.
That's
why I don't want to get rid of him.
Again. And also, Man United could score. He could concede, get no attacking returns, and
True.
Again. Like, it's up to you. You decide. If you want to keep Cancelo, do it. I'm not trying to talk anyone into selling him. I'm just saying that I have sold him. Therefore, I think it was an okay idea. Like, if I thought it was a stupid idea, I wouldn't have done it. Morpay or Cancelo to bench? Oh my God! Everyone, stop benching Cancelo.
Everyone, stop benching Cancelo.
Some people want to sell him. Some people want to bench.
Why people want to sell him?
Got Newcastle away. I mean, it's getting tricky.
It's getting tricky.
Yeah, those two.
Those two.
Situation we're in with FPL, where for some people, it's like play him. For other people,
it's like play him.
People, just sell him. That's just what FPL is right now. And I think
it's stressful as well. FPL. It's stressful.
James Salah, Son, better captain pick. I don't. I feel like I'm bringing Reece James in because I'm hoping he starts twice. But doubling down,
he won't start twice.
A bit too much. But I would want to captain a double game week player. So James over Salah, sure.
James over Salah.
I would definitely not captain Son this week. I think.
No.
I think Salah is better. I've got a sneaky feeling that City versus Man United game might be 1-1. Yeah, look, I don't really have that much faith in Man United getting any points from that game, if I'm completely honest. But can I see Man United scoring? Yes,
no.
I think so.
No.
I think so.
I can't see them scoring.
They don't have to have the ball too often, which I think will suit them. So I think they can score. I always feel like Man United can score against Man City. I just never have much confidence they can win or even get a draw. Obviously, they did all right under Solskjaer a few times.
Yeah. But this is totally different.
With your bench boost, oh yeah, done that one. Yeah, Stephen, that bench boost sounds okay to me. I mean, Cancelo De Gea is a bit annoying if it's 1-1 or whatever, or City win 2-1 or something, but it could be okay. Not sure Jimenez will play from a Wolves fan. Yeah, I'm not massively confident with him.
I'm not massively confident.
I hope he doesn't start getting regularly benched.
Yeah, like the last game week I put Marty on the bench. He only played one game week.
I think if
and he picked up 8 points.
33, which isn't guaranteed.
Fair check, how many points did I have for players on the bench last 2 game weeks? That's what's killed me this season.
I think if Havertz plays twice, he outscores Mount. But I think Mount is safer for minutes. You can decide.
So what do you call it?
Is Lukaku a bad shout this week? And 2 Chelsea defenders. I mean, 2 Chelsea defenders.
Well, 11 points over the bench because
So I don't think he's a great.
Alanga would have got me 3, and Martin would have got me 8, so that's 11. The last game week. Mahrez, I was actually surprised that Mahrez was on the bench.
Alonso and play Lacazette.
And Bro only picked me 2 points.
On bench, or Dyer on bench.
So that's 11.
And playing with
And then
Lacazette next week.
the triple captain, I put Bernardo Silva on the bench, so that's 16.
I don't really get
16.
it. Why can you not have Alonso and Jimenez? If you can have Alonso
And Dawson
okay.
in game week
You
25.
quite like Alonso.
So that was
Lacazette on the bench.
23 points.
Bench 2 out of Robertson, Saka, Dennis. Well, you can't bench Dennis.
And Ramsdale.
Then it's Robertson versus Saka.
So 32 points.
Maybe, although
from players on the bench in the last
fixture for Roberts. I'd probably bench Saka
since game week 24.
I wouldn't bench
No,
double.
it's actually more. It's actually more. Jesus, more.
I think there's. I don't know. Chelsea fans, let me on the chat. Do you think
41 points actually?
Twice?
41s.
I mean, there's a good chance. The problem is against Norwich when it's an easier fixture, and obviously there's a gap there.
No, there's actually more.
There's a short gap before the Newcastle.
44.
Could they play forward?
44 points.
Play Sarr instead of Alonso, possibly. Alonso is a little bit of a risk. I won't lie.
Since game week 22.
Isn't guaranteed to start twice either.
Yeah.
I feel like if
I
would probably go.
God, I made so many mistakes this year. That's what's cost me. But those points this year has been 37.
Yes, I'm bench boost.
So I'm doing alright with points, but just made too many mistakes with players on the bench. But it is what it is.
It's locked in.
Unfortunately.
Because I wildcarded him out.
Unfortunately.
And then he regained it straight away. Alonso and James, having both of them on a free hit probably is a bit risky. I honestly think if I was free hitting, I'd probably go Havertz, James, and Rudiger. That's probably what I would do. Spanish Football Scout has Jimenez and James starting. Yeah, I think I'd be very surprised if Jimenez doesn't start either of the next 2 games. I think he starts at least one. It's not like
that was a big surprise in the last match. Jimenez was on the bench for Wolves.
I think everyone can
and last game week.
He will just get 1 start. He will get at least 1 start.
He will get at least 1 start.
It's just whether he gets the second one. That's the only question.
That's the only question.
He gets benched twice. Start Fernandes or Dennis. Son out for Coutinho -4 in reverse next week. No, I probably wouldn't do that. That's like 2 transfers just to get Son out and back in with 3 fixtures. I wouldn't do it.
No.
Dawson to James, Bowen to Ramsey for -4, but then I'll have to bench Saka. Overall, that might just about gain you points potentially, and obviously it gets you another double game weekend with Ramsey. But the thing is, Dawson plays in game week 30, so how does that affect you then? I'm not sure about that, but it depends how you set up game week 30.
That's true.
Wildcarded to have really.
It's about game week 30 as well.
Captain Reece James. I wouldn't say crazy, but obviously you are taking a risk.
How many players do I have for game week 30 at the moment?
Trent, Tillman, Broja, or Ramsey. Are you really going to force me to say?
How many do I have for game week 30?
You can't bench Broja, I don't think. I think Tillman's fixtures are pretty good for clean sheets.
Check. Put a check now.
And then it's Ramsey versus Trent.
For game week 30, that's a blank.
I would probably bench Trent. I think it's easy for me to say bench Trent, but I actually do that for my team. I don't know. It'd be between Trent and Ramsey. I'd want to probably play
which is 2 weeks' time.
Do you think we are sleeping on Vardy? I mean, sleeping's a bit strong.
So Wolves are late.
Quite a long-termish injury.
So I have Rafinha.
Look, Vardy could
3 Arsenal. 5 with Digne.
My only worry long-term, I guess he gets a little bit of a break.
Need to get Leicester player. Leicester.
I don't think Vardy's a bad pick.
I have 2 West Ham players.
I just think when
2 West Ham.
How likely is he to play both games? That's the only thing.
I might not even get a goalkeeper.
Who are you not going for? Can you still?
So got to keep Ramsdale. God almighty.
So I think, are we sleeping on Vardy?
God almighty.
Probably for good reason.
So how many will I have?
Bench 1, Trent, Son, Kane.
One of Leeds.
No one's benching up game.
maybe 2 or 3 of Arsenal.
Surely. So
That's
Kane,
4.
Son or Trent. Oh my god.
2 of West Ham, so I've got 6.
It's probably Trent again.
So
It probably is
I've got
Trent.
6. I'm not getting rid of
I
West
don't know
Ham
if
players.
the thing is, I don't know if I would play Trent over
So 6.
Wang, actually. Oh, I don't know.
So 6 West Ham players.
Trent
What's this?
versus Wang's quite
Call up to
tricky
game
because
week.
Wang might not start both. Again, it's probably bench Trent. Because you people have got such ridiculous benches or such ridiculous.
Call up to game week.
No, bench
28
is so
now.
good this week because people are struggling with who to bench.
Check how many double game week players I'll have next week.
Best strikers for game week 30 and long term. I mean,
For next
game week
week.
30 is like, I mean, like Vardy, for example.
2 of
probably-
Liverpool.
Vardy and Kane are probably 2 of the best strikers for game week 30, right?
Tottenham have a double game week, but I'm no Tottenham players.
It's a different story. Like, Jimenez
Will I
is
get a
very
Tottenham
good.
player in next week? I don't know. Actually.
Going forward, like,
I don't
Weghorst
know.
could be an option. I actually think Dennis and King, like, if you go
I
and
really
listen
don't
to that
know.
FPL pod from yesterday, I hate to break it to you, but Weghorst.
It's actually not that
possibly
many
gonna
double
be
game
back
week
up and again
teams
quite
next week.
soon. And also, so is King and Dennis. I'm telling you now. I know you're going to laugh it off. You're going to say,
It's
"Oh,
actually
you'll
not that
get drawn
many.
into that again." Trust me, you'll get drawn into
Next
it again
week.
at some point. And also, Watford
To be honest with you.
my main aim, really, longer term, and I say long term, there's not even that many game weeks to go now, is to drop money out of Lacazette and Jimenez at some point. I don't know when. So Jimenez down to like a Watford forward could be the way. I know they've been bad, but I just want the money out of that position.
Maybe next week I could roll on a transfer. Who knows?
Everyone will ask.
Next week.
I told you Weghorst was going to be captain game week 27.
Next week I
Everyone
could
will
roll
ask,
on.
and then everyone captained him.
Make 2
It's
transfers.
going to happen. Would you bench with Sanchez, Saka, Cancelo,
But
Weghorst?
I don't know. It's a tough one.
Maybe. I think the general overview for would I bench with this week is
Maybe
do you have a wild
maybe a
card?
game
If you
week
have a wild
30 I
card,
could take
then
another
bench it.
12 points here. Who knows?
I'd probably just save it.
Who knows?
I mean, Sanchez against Newcastle's okay. Saka is okay.
But I
Cancelo's
would.
always okay.
I'd be happy with
Chelsea.
9 or 10 players in game week 30.
I'm sure he's going to wipe out.
To be honest with you.
I think it's okay, but if you've got a wild card, just wait till 30.
But we will see anyway. We will see.
Robertson or Saka? Robertson, I guess. It's so close.
We will
so
see.
Close. Robertson. Tempted to captain Mount. Go for it. Morpay or Cancelo? Who should I bench? I benched Morpay out of those two. I mean, there's a lot of players that play with Cancelo this year. I'm not sure Morpay is one of them.
Who am I going to capture the game week 29?
If you're
Definitely
offered
Salah.
120
Definitely
points for
Salah.
this team this week, would you take it? Yes, I think so. I mean, it's a bit of a not a pointless question, but obviously
Not a
it depends
pointless
what everyone else
question.
does, right? I mean, looking at it right now, 120 seems pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 double game weekers. I don't know actually. 15 players and over half of them are doubles. Is 120 enough? I mean, realistically, if I get 120, everyone else gets 80, then I absolutely take it. If I get 120 and everyone else gets 110, then without bench boost, then I definitely want more. You know.
I definitely want more.
Don't laugh at his Chris Wood an option. I'm not.
Don't laugh, it's Chris Wood an option.
I think yes. The only thing with Newcastle is not to get too caught up in the fact they've got 4 fixtures the next 2 game weeks. Because if it then means if you've got a spare transfer for game week 30, great, but they don't play that week. So
Yeah, it's not worth it.
I don't remember what video I've done so many.
It's not worth getting Chris Wood.
I don't know. I mean, Lacazette, for example, right? It's not a great example.
It's not a great example.
But from game week 28 to game week 30, they both have 4 fixtures. It just so happens that Chris Wood has 4 in 2 weeks. So if you've got a spare transfer to move him on, or you're
to move him on,
30, then it's not so bad. If you're going to have to move him on, and that creates a problem.
That creates a
you
problem.
Might not be able to, it might not be worth going for him. Same for all Newcastle players, basically.
Just what? Oh no, Watford don't have a game week in 30.
Or Luke Dean, Cody Willock.
Because Everton got through.
Either or, and there's like way more players on the second or.
Everton got through.
Liverpool, Rudiger, James, or Luke Dean, Cody Willock,
Salah.
Adams. Maybe.
So who do I have for game week 30? Ramsdale, Bowen, Dawson, Lacazette,
I don't get
Smith
the
Rowe,
really.
and Lucas Dean.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
At the moment,
okay.
so that's
if
6.
If it's for value, then Dubravka's not a bad goalkeeper this week. I
That's
think
6
Sarr
at the
is
moment.
probably better than Dubravka. And you've got Sarr on the
Does
bench.
Leeds have a game in 30 as well, Leeds?
I like James and Rudiger for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I
So
think
got about 7.
I don't know if I double
Actually
up.
got about 7.
Generally prefer a Wolves defender to a
So I actually might not play the free hit.
Salah, Mount, Coutinho, Rafinha, Adams, all looks pretty good to me.
I might not play the free hit chip in game week 30 because I got 7
put on your bench when your bench resets.
players.
Ultimately, no. I mean, you can't captain someone that's on your bench. That's the only thing. But one thing to consider, like the one thing I do is I always put like.
I could take maybe a 12 point hit. Who knows?
Who would I bench? And I think I would play Saka ahead of Van
Or an
Dijk.
8 point.
I would play him ahead of Lacazette and Tierney as well. And everyone
Don't
else
make a transfer next week.
I would say. And the only reason like you should pick a
That's
realistic bench.
what I
is to
might
have a
do.
realistic idea of what your bench we've scored. Like I could sit here and put
Save
like,
a transfer
Rafinha, or not, maybe not
for
Rafinha,
game week
but like Broya, Salah, all of
30.
my bench, but it's not a realistic bench reset. That's all. Start King or Saka King. There's very few times where you start.
Very few times.
Tierney or Luca Dean for James. Probably Luca Dean. I think Tierney's better long term. But the problem is. So the problem you've got with that move, though, is you're removing Luca Dean with a double.
You're moving Luca Dean.
Tierney doesn't have a double. I think I
should have got the Wolves keeper.
Sir. Double, but I think because he's got one next to him,
that's what I could have done, but
I think
it is what it is.
I'm not really massively happy about it. I think this wild card could get into a spot of bother sooner rather than later. I'm not sure Luke Dean's going to get a clean sheet in either game, to be honest. And then the fixtures aren't great.
The fixtures aren't great.
On wild card, Kane and Rafinha or Son and Lacazette. Also got Adams, Jimenez, Ramsey, Saka, and Shaw. Bench and Trent, Bowen, Tilly. Any chance you'll get real?
Any chance?
I don't think so. Like Shaw's only playing. No, sorry, I got it wrong. I was thinking of someone else actually.
He's thinking of something else.
Nailed at the moment. I don't know how long that will last.
I don't know how long that will last.
Kane and Rafinha or Son and Lacazette. I think Kane and Rafinha might be slightly better, but it really depends on what.
It really depends.
Do for you in the future. Like at some point you might downgrade Lacazette, and then having Son over Kane is a bit cheaper.
It's a bit cheaper.
Kane looks pretty good. Bench Sanchez or Ramsdale? Sanchez probably.
Sanchez.
Should I just bench 8 Nuri or sell -4 to Size? Play him. Why would you? I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I'm stuck. Please help. Play Ramsey.
I'm stuck. Please help.
Robbo, yes. I already have Coutinho playing. I feel like I could miss out on decent points from Robertson. I mean, you should always play the player you think is going to get the most points, right? I would play Ramsey with Robertson.
Yeah.
I love at the beginning of the season you didn't know who Sarr was.
Didn't know who Sarr was.
That's one of the things I like about FPL actually. I think it opens you up to knowing.
It really opens you up.
Sometimes. Because you kind of just have to know, right?
You just kind of have to know.
Well, mostly no.
Mostly no.
Honestly, sometimes I've gone through seasons. Probably there's some teams now where I couldn't even name like the entire back four. I remember when Sheffield United first come up. The defence was looking really good, and like everyone was on it, so you had to learn about it for ages. I wouldn't have been able to name you the entire back five.
Entire back five.
You do tend to learn a lot about different players, obviously.
Obviously.
You probably didn't know about Shah until now. No, I was actually discussing Shah with someone yesterday. Am I crazy for loading up on defence with Trent, Cancelo, James?
Am I crazy loaded up on defence?
I don't think that's crazy.
I don't think that's crazy.
I think possibly depending on how
blanks.
I think going big at the back, big in midfield, and cheap up front is how. I'm currently looking. Like Weghorst is definitely in my transfer plans because they've got fairly good fixtures after 30 and some double game weeks to come. So I'm definitely thinking about him.
Yeah.
The same for Watford forwards. I don't think it's crazy. No. I don't know if it's necessarily ideal right now.
Yeah.
Given how the fixtures fall, like I've got Lacazette and Jimenez. I'm kind of okay with that, but long term, yes.
Long term, yes.
If I had Coutinho, would I captain him over Rafinha? That is a really good question. The thing is, I think with questions like that, it's very easy for me to.
It's very easy for me.
Don't own and just say, yeah, I definitely would.
I definitely would.
But I'm going to say Rafinha is a better captain than Coutinho. I think Coutinho's possibly got slightly better fixtures because he has the Leeds game. I think Rafinha's on penalties.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of new manager bounce. I think. I don't know. I always feel like it's easy just to say the player you don't have, but I do think I would still go for Rafinha. I do like Rafinha this week. Not tempted to bench Reece in 36. No, I don't have a wild card left. It's too long. It's too from game week 28.
Oh, he doesn't have a wild card left. Wow.
To also get a decent bench out and
Does
also
he not have a
concentrate
wild card left?
on
No
getting
way.
players in for small double game weeks, trying to get through
Check
game
out.
33 or 36 without a free hit. It's just too much. I'm just going to use the bench boost right now. I'm not saying it's the best option for a lot of people, but for me, it definitely is. I've just wildcarded. Are we ignoring Ramsey captain just because of his price?
No, he actually doesn't.
I think Ramsey.
Wow.
He scored those 2 goals. I'm just going to look him up now.
Wow.
I think he got a little bit overhyped.
He doesn't have his wild card left, Andy.
His expected data, like his expected goal for is 0.16. His expected assist is 0.08. That's pretty low for a midfielder. He's a great enabler. I'm really happy to play him this week because he's got the.
Really happy to play him this week.
So I don't think we are overlooking Ramsey as captain at all. At all.
At all.
I don't think he's a great captain. I don't think he's a good captain at all. I think he's one of those players that people would say.
One of those players.
Really, he is a good player. No one's denying
he is a good player.
How often is he going to get really good quality chances in front of goal in the box? I'm not sure. I hope he does. I hope he proves me wrong this week.
I hope he proves me wrong this week.
Captaincy is just too far for him. And most weeks I'm not even going to look to play him, to be honest with you.
Most weeks.
Salah against West Ham, 9 games, 9 goals, 3 assists. His favourite opponent. Very nice.
Favourite opponent?
Sterling captain. No chance. No chance.
No, not Sterling, no.
Triple captain. I do have my triple captain left because I was an idiot and didn't use it in game week 26.
He should have used it in 26. It was actually my best ever triple captaincy ever this year. So at least that was something for me.
Looking at how the rest of the kind of doubles and stuff could fall,
doubles and stuff.
I think what was I even answering? I don't know if there's going to be a better time for me to triple captain than next week because in game week 36 or 33 I'm probably going to free hit and I don't know if there's going to be a better combination of fixtures really.
Yeah.
Possibly like a Kane or a Son at some point, but I'm just going to go for Salah next week. What about Coutinho? What about him?
What about Coutinho? Oh, he doesn't have Coutinho. What about him?
Willock Roya.
Willock Roya.
I don't like these trade prices. I don't think it's fair.
I don't think it's fair.
I don't think it's fair to put me in a position where I have to say about whether to bench Trent or not, especially for someone like freaking Willock. Again, I'd probably play the double gaming players.
Yeah, so would I.
City, answer determines Son versus Kane. Okay, well there you go. I'll give you your answer.
There you go.
James in for Robertson. I just don't know about transferring Robertson out for James. I think Van Dijk is just so much easier to do.
Van Dijk is just so much easier to do.
I don't like. Here's what I'll say. Okay. If Reece James starts all 3 of the next games in 28,
it's not going to happen.
I think there's every chance he outscores Robertson. If he misses one of the games and Robertson plays all 3, which he probably will, I think Robertson wins out.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll say. So do you want to risk Reece? Are you in a position, or do you want?
Are you in a position?
Starting one of the next 3. Now, obviously.
Different
if you like. I think the main thing with James is.
The main thing with James is.
Not necessarily entirely accurate because some people think that he'll play both in 28.
He played both in 28.
29, but that doesn't matter because.
But that doesn't matter.
Unless they're bench boosted, which is true, and I probably.
Which is true.
But the problem is, he's playing Newcastle at home, so you're going to play him, and if he does get benched,
if he does get benched.
So you are risking 2
You
starts.
are
with
risking.
Cameron.
So
would
if I
be
had Robertson,
a lot less happy about doing it. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it,
not
but
saying
wouldn't be as
I wouldn't do it
as I am with Van Dijk.
with Van Dijk.
I can't really help you. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
Bench boost active. Would you do Walker Peters to James for -4? Possibly, yeah, because I think James is a good long-term
possibly,
option.
yeah.
I think Walker Peters had a hamstring injury. I don't necessarily think it's that bad.
I don't
It
necessarily
sounds
say
like
that's
it was that
bad.
but, he's probably going to miss at least one game in a double. Would Ziyech be starting? Oh man.
We'll see. Oh man.
Would he be starting as he's trained? He might start, but I don't think he gets 2 starts.
I don't think he gets 2 starts at Ziyech.
Rafinha for me, then Rudiger, then Reece James. I think if you think Reece James starts twice, he's probably the best captain out of all of them. The most ideal situation, by the way, for people that are buying Reece James is, yes, his minutes will be managed, but we need to have them managed in a way where we get, like, it helps us.
Which just
example,
helps us.
Like, I don't know if this is going to happen, because I think Burnley will give them a bit of a game. But if they're 3-0 up against Burnley before the 60th minute, then when 60 minutes hits, bam, get Reece James off.
Get Reece James off.
Minutes. Let him start against Norwich.
Let him start against Norwich.
Get the clean sheet locked in, and then start him against Newcastle. That's the ideal situation.
That's the ideal situation.
But that would be nice. That would be nice.
That would be nice.
Sometimes the defenders, when they're not prepped to play 90, as long as they make it to 60, it can be beneficial. Obviously, you'd want him to have an attack and return before that. But yeah, James, don't say that. No, don't say sub at 50. You're ruining the dream.
Don't say sub at 50. You're ruining the dream.
Like Diaz from Liverpool, not an option for me.
Diaz from Liverpool, not an option.
Not good enough.
Not good enough.
So I don't think he's fairly nailed, especially with Jota about it.
Fair check. What else is on? What else is on? No. Let's see. Oh, what do you call it? FPL captain.
On the bench this game week. Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? I would probably bench. Out of the defenders, the worst one there as an option for this week is probably Robertson.
An option for this week.
In terms of the midfielders, the one that I would bench.
The one that I would bench.
Ramsey or Kulusevski. Does Vardy have a single game week this week? I forgot. I think he does though. Leicester, yeah, single game against Leeds. I wouldn't bench Vardy against Leeds. I would bench Kulusevski because it's a single game week. Ramsey because he's quite cheap, so yeah, it wouldn't annoy you too much. I think if he got a big return, and I'd probably also bench Robertson just because it's a single game week. Jose says Rafinha king of the game week, nice prediction. James says is Joelinton not an option for cheap? He could be, but to be completely honest, whilst he is playing well, he is basically a forward playing in midfield, so he's not getting the clean sheet points and stuff. So it's not really a good out of position situation that he's in. But yeah, he is playing all right, to be fair with you. And yeah, Joelinton, but I'm not really convinced by him as an FPL option. Ahmed says start Kilman or Livramento. Kilman's got the slightly better double game week in my opinion. Andrew says Kulusevski or Rafinha on the wild card. I don't know. I think a lot of people prefer Rafinha, but I'm personally not the biggest fan of it. I understand people are buying because the fixtures are good, but Leeds just haven't looked very good recently. They could get a new manager bounce, but I'm personally a bigger fan of Kulusevski. It's a controversial opinion though. Dubra says start Bowen or King. I don't know. Bowen's got a tough fixture. King's got a double. I think I'd just start King, but I honestly can't see King scoring. I can't really see Bowen scoring either. Obviously, if King just blanks in both of the games, that is 4 points, so I think I'd start King. Looking at Tanima's team, he's on the wild card. Interesting again. Good to see lots of wild carders, but also non-wild carders. He's got Sa, Digne, Livramento, TAA, Rudiger, Son, Coutinho,
yeah,
Salah,
just
Ramsey,
putting it in on his
Coutinho,
YouTube, because can't do it on the
I
television.
wouldn't get Dennis. I think
The
I
comments.
prefer,
Of course.
what's his name? Broja to Dennis. I wouldn't captain Coutinho either. I think I'd probably rather captain someone like Rudiger. But other than that, I think that looks like a really solid team.
Really solid
I
team.
think I'm quickly, guys, just going to get a screenshot of my team and put it up on screen while I read all of these chats.
Put it up on screen.
If that's all right.
If that's all right.
But yeah, there might be changes.
My team's just gone up.
Deadline. Might not be able to read all of the chats, as I will just have to, get into answering the questions. But let's just put up an image on the screen.
On the screen.
just with the team that I've currently got here.
Just to let you know, nearly 50 minutes to the deadline closes, everybody. There's his team.
Okay.
Oh, he only has 3.
So that's my team on the screen, guys. So you can look at
3
that
single game week
while I
players.
go ahead and answer all of these chat questions. Hopefully that's okay. So yeah, let's look at some of these chats. There are 37 people watching. Thanks so much, everyone. If you are enjoying the stream, please make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. It really does help out so much with the channel, and yeah, with me trying to produce content almost every single day, or just as much as possible. And yeah, also let me know, do you guys like the new thumbnails? I spent quite a while working on them, but yeah, if you like them, then yeah.
If you like them, you got a red arrow the last game week.
Let's look into the chats though. Yeah, I like your team today in general. Andrew says Kulusevski or Rafinha wildcard already have Son and Kane. That is true. If you've got Son and Kane, then I think Rafinha for me. Mohit says Reece James or Jimenez for captaincy. Reece James or Jimenez for captaincy. Sorry, mate. It's a tough one. If you think James will play both games, James. If you think James won't play both games, then Jimenez. Cheyenne says thanks, mate. No problem. We've missed so many chats. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna up the pace now. If you guys can't figure out what I'm saying, I'm really sorry. Sam says, play Watkins against a double game week or Trent against the Hammers. I don't know. Watkins really hasn't been playing well, but I think I'd just take the risk of playing the double game week player. Sayal says, James or Rudiger. If you think James will play both of the games, or if you're kind of risky manager, then James. If you're kind of more safe manager, then probably
If you're more than safe manager.
I said I was more of a risky manager a few weeks ago, but now I feel like I'm more of a safer manager because I've gone with Rudiger. I honestly don't really know what I am, to be honest. I'm somewhere in the middle, I think. It kind of depends on my feeling at that moment in time. Right now, I'm kind of feeling a bit safe.
He has 8 double game week players, does he have? I only have 6.
I was much higher a few weeks ago.
6 or 5? I think I only have 5, do I?
Is it worth taking out Weghorst for the likes of Wood or Joelinton?
5, I think, is it?
I'm already on
1,
minus
2,
4.
3, 4.
Yeah, it's only minus 4. They are double game.
I only have 5 double game week players.
Cheyenne says, should I bench boost this?
Yeah.
Trent, White, and Weghorst. No, not for me. There's going to be a massive double game week in 36, so wait for that one. We've got 50 viewers. Thanks so much, everyone.
50 viewers.
Let me just try and get into all of these chats. It's going
Got to
so
put down a like button.
Let me just try and answer all of these. It's really difficult, guys. Going to go very fast, aren't I?
Very fast.
Where were we in the chat? So we were on Ahmed's one. No, we're not. I've already done that. But Xavier's one. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. I am well. Thanks so much. Hope you're well, too. Xavier says, I'm on Captain James. Love it. Looks really good. I could get James in my team. Do you guys want me to take a risk and get James? Let me know in the chat below. Pringley says, thanks, mate. Gotta go now. Good luck with your exams, Pringley. Hope they go well. Thomas says, does it tell you how long I've been watching for? No, it doesn't. I can see the average viewer watch time of the stream so far, but it doesn't tell me how long a specific person's been watching for. I can't see who's liked the video. I can't see who's subscribed unless you've turned that on public. But I don't.
Turn that on public.
I haven't turned it on publicly either, and I can't see how long a specific person's watched for. Don't worry about that kind of stuff.
Don't worry about that kind of stuff.
Then I'd love to hear that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Says, is it good to have Kulusevski wildcard? Yeah, I think so. It says start Kilman or Livramento. Kilman's got better fixtures. I would start Kilman. El Nino says double game week Foster or Ramsdale in goal. Foster or Ramsdale in goal. I'd go with Foster just because he's got the double.
Yeah.
Rian says, who are you captaining? That's Rudiger for me, but I might change that to James. I'm not really too sure right now. Cheyenne says, king of the game with James. What do you guys think? Should I take Rudiger out and replace him with James? Let me know in the chat below. Muzaffar says, Ziyech or Havertz. I'd go with Havertz. I'm not too sure that both of them are particularly good, but I think out of the two of them, Havertz for me. Francis says, I've taken a minus 12 point hit. Rudiger is my captain. Good luck to you, Francis.
He says, good luck to me.
Broha or Kulusevski and Adams.
Rudiger's captain.
How long do we have until the deadline? 46 minutes. Sorry, let me just get back into these chats. Where will we?
Let me get back into this
chat.
chat.
Kulusevski and Adams. Kulu and Adams, I think. Although
Kulu and Adams, I think.
It kind of depends. If you're on the free hit, I think I'd go with Coutinho and Broha. If you're kind of thinking long term, I prefer
long term.
Adams, I think. Michael says, would you take a hit for Willock? It depends who you're selling.
It depends who you're selling.
It kind of depends who you're selling, doesn't it? Yeah. Muzaffar says, will Havertz play? I think he will.
I think he
will.
will.
Both of the games, but he's definitely going to play 90. I'd say he plays, 90 minutes minimum. He's probably going to play 120, but you can never be really sure.
You can never be really sure.
Sidanshu says, take a minus 4 for Ziyech. It's very risky.
It's very risky. Yeah, so back to... Oh, Penguin's on live.
I probably...
Oh, he's captain Mount.
Already. Yeah, what?
I
You
think.
have Salah, Mane. Is Mane your only Liverpool attacker in your team? If he is, I'd keep Mane for this week and sell Bowen for Ramsey instead. If Mane's your only Liverpool attacker. If you don't
Mane
have
is
Salah,
only your Liverpool
if you have
attacker.
Salah, then sell Mane for Coutinho. That's why I'd say recommend. Well, I've got no clue what to do, mate.
He's got no clue what to do.
I have to plan for 30 as well because I've no free here. But see, for game week 30, I'm not with how I'm approaching it. I'm not that bothered how many players.
I'm not that bothered.
I'm just gonna let it go. It's not important to me that one. But this is gonna get annoying. I like the idea, Mohammed.
I like the idea.
Not a bad idea. Definitely, is one to consider. That's for sure. I could definitely probably go for Brozier and Adams instead of Mount. Oh God, this is so tough.
God, this is so tough.
It's the captaincy that's baffled me a lot because to me there's no clear-cut favourite to captain. But then just say it, if in doubt.
If in doubt.
Captain Mo Salah, if in doubt. Rudiger, a lot of people doing him. So yeah, if you hope for like clean sheet and add some bonuses, 6 points for clean sheet. Well, 4 points for clean sheet. 6, 12. If he gets like 12 points maximum, 24 doubles. But if he gets bonus, say if he gets an average 1 bonus point, 13, 20.
Yeah.
He'll get you like 28 in captain if you were average this week. You'd be hoping. I still want to stick it on an attacker though. That's what I'm going to do. But something's telling me about this league.
Something's telling me about this.
It's Rafinha.
It's Rafinha.
First game now. It's the first game now. What are we saying about Rafinha and Leeds? What are we saying about them? How do you check predicted points? This little website I'm using, well, it's the FPL website, but just download on your laptop or computer FPL Tools.
FPL Tools.
And then you get
go to his YouTube channel as well. So I'm going to go back. Oh, Planet FPL. There's lots of managers. Same. Foster and goal. Rudiger's the number 1 captain choice. Wow.
I just really like what I've seen from Ryan.
Trent, Cody. Rudiger's his captain like myself. Cancelo.
Also just on split.
He has 4 single game week players.
Think I'm going to go with my boy, best mate.
Salah, vice captain Rafinha like myself. Ramsey.
I would not want to bench out Cancelo in any game week ever.
Ryan Fraser.
Win.
Boya and Harry Kane up front is bench. De Gea, Turney,
Cristiano Ronaldo,
Belkhorst, and Trossard. Wow.
About one of the greatest players of all time there, James. Most overrated player in the Premier League. Great, who I'm just not big on.
Not big on. Going to check my prediction scores.
Steve Greenwood
this week.
Listened to Clash of Correspondence this week and didn't catch this. I foolishly bought Emi Buendia a few weeks back and hold him because of the double, but will he play? Well, Lee Jackson's opinion on the Villa versus Southampton podcast on Thursday was probably not.
Probably not.
Team that plays against Brian. Dylan Ferner Rose says, hi there.
So today I went for 1-0 draw between Leicester and Leeds. 1-0 Wolves. I'm actually going to change that. Actually.
Probably go to Mount Combo. Andy Max's thoughts on Kulu for next.
I'm going for 1-0.
Option. We're certainly going to be talking about those next week.
I could see Palace get the goal.
Kale says,
away at Wolves.
Patron, my friend. Hi James, do you think bench boost will Sanchez, Lacazette, Ramsey, Williams sounds worth it?
Went for 2 on. I'm actually going to change that.
I'm going to say no. Mate.
I'm going to say 2-0 Villa.
I would always
2-0 Villa. So
So
change that. Jesus.
You obviously do have doublers there in Ramsey and Williams. They're not fantastic. Ramsey, I mean, is great for this week. Williams, the first fixture appeals for Norwich. Actually, that's why Brandon Williams is quite high.
Actually going to change that.
Benching dilemma strength.
Watford game.
No, I think it's just short in my opinion, my friend. What No Graphics says, hello James, Burrington Mount -4 for long term. Fine. The only thing I'd say on that is, and I'm very conscious of this in myself, in the fact that I sold Jared Bowen.
1-0 Newcastle.
Bowen back in game week 31, and that's part of my possible thinking at the moment.
Yeah, so a lot of changes to the score that I've done.
And bench boost this week. I prefer other options this week.
So I'm going to check now.
Jimenez, the Southampton forwards, I would prefer than Chris Wood at man. Not a lot of people saying
I'm super brill.
Got Wood, it should be, shouldn't it?
40 minutes to the deadline closes. Everybody.
Best goalkeeper on a wild card was the Bradford, Schmeichel, Sarr, or Ramsdale. Honestly,
so the scores that went for is 1 out of 3 Leicester and Leeds, 1 out of 3 Wolves and Palace, 1 out of 3 Norwich and Brentford, 2-0 Aston Villa, 1-0 Newcastle against Brighton, 2-0 Chelsea away at Burnley, 3-0 Liverpool against West Ham,
you have to remember Schmeichel.
2-1 Arsenal away at Watford, 2-0 Man City against Man United, even though I support United, but to be fair, we're not playing well this year. Monday night, 1 out of 3. Tottenham and Everton. 3-0 Chelsea away at Norwich. 1-0 Newcastle. It was 1-0, but I changed it. 1-0 Newcastle away at Southampton. 2-1 Watford away at Wolves. 2 out of 3 in Leeds and Aston Villa. That's next Thursday's fixtures.
A realistic
for
Reece James minutes this week would be around about the 140 to 150 mark.
40 to 1.
Courses, would you prefer Adams and Breuer double up on free hit or just go
on free hit?
I'd probably just go for one because I think
I'd probably just go for one.
But I don't mind it.
I don't mind it.
If you want to go both, I'm okay with it. Ross Johnson says, hi James, good morning. Son, Wink, Skip and Matt Doherty have all been captured by Arsenal. For which
captured by Arsenal?
Top 10 hit is being played on Luke. Who's first to crack to reveal Conte's tactics? Son. Jonathan Brown says, am I crazy for wildcard Havertz and Lukaku in for this double? No, not crazy. No. I imagine Lukaku will have you pulling your hair out, but no one's talking about him, right?
No one's talking about him.
Well. Kartik Rao says, he's 5 double game week players enough for this game week as ever made. This is a waste of time.
This is a waste of time.
More important about who are your 6 single game week players. If you're sitting there with Treble, Liverpool, Kane, Son and Cancelo. Great. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Says, thoughts on King Kai, not King. Chelsea,
yeah, so
many of us into a sweat, not going there.
Rudiger's number 1, Captain Reece James number 2, Rafinha number 3, Sarr number 4, the Wolves keeper. Jesus. Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Salah number 7, Kane number 8, Jimenez number 9, and Che Adams number 10. Wow. Check what score did he predict.
So no, I wouldn't go there, mate. Alistair Coper says, would you do Robertson to James Rudiger for free? Might reverse it next week.
Might reverse it next week.
Like that, but I think Chelsea defenders the best capture. Cheers. You've answered your own question, Alistair.
You answer your own question.
James Robertson to Rudiger for free or roll. Again, a little bit like the previous question. Alistair,
like the previous question.
Back next week. If you're happy to be at the same position, or you have a plan for a different Liverpool player, be it Jota, Diaz, or something like that.
It's gone for 2-1 Leicester against Leeds, 1 out of 3 Villa and Southampton, 1-0 Chelsea, Burnley, 1-0 Newcastle, same as we saw, 2-1 Norwich against Brentford, 1 out of 3 Wolves and Palace, 2-0 Liverpool, 2-1 Arsenal, I went for the same, 2-1 Man City against United, 2-0 Tottenham, 2-0 Chelsea, 2-1 Southampton, 1-0 Wolves against Watford, 1 out of 3 Leeds and Villa. That's what score he's predicted.
So do you really want
this week?
The maximum for Mendy, the extra 1 million, just because you know you'll play twice.
You don't pay twice.
Down the line, if Chelsea continue to progress in the Champions League, is there a chance, which happened last season, that Kepa plays the odd league game in the running?
Yeah.
They have nothing to play for, so I'm not massively keen on it, my friend. In terms of this week, specifically, yeah, great option. If I was free hitting, it would be Mendy or Sarr.
Mendy or
Nick
Sarr.
says, morning, James. Looking at doing Mitchell and Trossard to Rudiger. James.
I'll check what's happening. It matters.
And Fraser, okay. So Rudiger or James and Fraser.
Oh, we're still. My manager said waiting for red gear today, lads. Too many.
They've got a terrible no double like
shorts and socks missing in the black gear.
This is a good week to farm anything out. That includes Gallagher.
I put my gear in the black bag. Can't believe the lads would do that.
I don't know what he's going to do with that.
Or did they bring it home with them?
Stanislav Lepin says morning.
Because that's like stealing.
Would you start off Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Sanchez, or Bowen?
Something like that. As well. Oh, Ray has got one.
Bowen ahead of Calvert-Lewin. I presume Sanchez. You're saying Davinson Sanchez? I'm going to guess.
Feck, lads.
I think by default it's got to be Bowen. I don't actually think Calvert-Lewin will start either. Lampard's hopeful that he would try.
Bad out.
Obviously, as the game is Monday, it will give him a chance. I think Everton might go with 4-5-1 again on Monday night. And I don't think it's a guarantee that Calvert-Lewin would start in that case. Ritwick says, which two to play from TA?
Which two to play?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, let's play Saka.
Let's play Saka.
Honestly, from that, definitely Mo Salah.
Definitely Mo Salah.
Toss your coin between Harry Kane and Trent. The answer to that probably would look.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back. Well, not back. The guy who was number one, he's no longer. I think he's down to 189 to the world now. Oscar, I think his name is.
Captain left. That's all I've got remaining for the run out.
Oh no, he's 591 overall in the rank in the world now.
Sorry, Rohan. He says, what changes?
Yeah, so it's a big slip up from him. How many single gaming players does he have as well? Oh, he's got loads the same as myself.
Here's my plan moves. I'm going to do Pope to Dubravka.
Oh, he only has one transfer?
I'm strongly considering Sarr, but I think I want
Dubravka. Oh, no, I think he had two or something.
Sarr, realistically, after this game week, I'd only play him maybe once for the entire remainder of the season. And he's 0.9 mil more, so...
Oh, no, he had two free transfers?
Sarr's worth an extra 0.9 mil for one game.
Did Oscar? I only had one, but of course I took a 12-point hit because I made 4 transfers. Yeah, so I'm not looking forward to single game week players, but it is what it is, unfortunately. You never know, it could have a good game week or it could have a lucky game week as well, because you have to be lucky. Because I haven't been lucky this year. Even though I haven't picked up over 20 points this season. So being unlucky this year, probably.
Rest in one game week, right? And then 5 days, that would be a decent rest between 2 game weeks. So
that's all my water can.
A reasonable chance that
until this stream is over.
He's coming in. He's going to be my captain.
As well.
There's a question now. I didn't see who asked it. Is Madison out?
Yeah, I think Madison is out for this game.
He might make the bench. I think he was restricted.
How many does he have?
Last game he came off the bench.
He's got 1.
Sorry, Patty. Ask it again.
2.
I missed that. It's so hard.
He only has 4 at the moment.
I don't know why YouTube does this.
He only has 4 double game week players at the moment, does Oscar?
There it is. Pratik says on a wildcard, Mount
4
or Rafinha. Mount Coutinho or Rafinha. I think Rafinha, but Coutinho is a very good pick as well.
4.
In order.
But I think he'd be making 2 transfers.
Coutinho, and then Mount. Damien says start Trent or Cancelo. Trent. Right, guesses in the chat. Who do you think is the most transferred in player heading into Game Week 28?
Ooh,
Most
that's a good
transferred in
question.
player.
Who's the most transferred in
Most
player?
transferred out as well. One thing I forgot to mention, just before I went live, but Rilligum became an FPL Focal member, so thank you for that if you are still...
Thank you for that.
FPL Focal members get early access to my videos, and there's a private channel on the Discord server where I give team feedback. I'm on there every day chatting, so... Definitely
His team is Ramsdale, Trent, Saiss, Robertson, Turney,
highest tier that gives you everything. It's literally one tier and that's
Salah, Rafinha is his captain. Son, Saka, Jimenez, and Broya.
Most transferred in player is...
Here it is. Most transferred in player. Rudiger. Wow. Rudiger, wow. Salah second. Che Adams third. Jimenez fourth. Mount fifth. Willock sixth. Coutinho seventh. Reece James 8. Broya 9. Sarr 10th. Kane 11th. Thiago Silva. Rafinha. Yeah.
The most transferred out. It is Jared Bowen who's top.
Check how many transfers have I made this season.
Second is Diaz, of course. Diaz
already at the moment.
Said at the start of the stream, out 4 to 6 weeks with an injury, so he's a definite sell. And no surprise to see Rudiger as the most transferred in. Probably a lot of managers making that switch. Antonio's up there as well.
36. Jesus. 36 transfers I made this season. At the moment.
Not got their voting on our captain poll. Don't forget to do that.
36. Wow.
Results in a minute. If you want to join the Discord, links in the description.
Wow.
Ahmed says on a wildcard, Ramsey and Jimenez or Coutinho and Hwang. I would go Ramsey and Jimenez personally. Just not sure about.
Just not sure.
Hwang's minutes. I think I'm a bit more confident in Jimenez's minutes. But,
check out my opponents in the cup.
Annoying, isn't it? Jimenez,
of course, I got through in both competitions during the week. Holly Chances won. I'm against Paul Jones.
Some of you probably have seen FPL.team, but there's another one.
It's going to be a tough one for me no matter what. He's doing well this year. He's about 4K this year.
So, for example, I could go.
So I got a tough one.
And then Lee to James.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I got a tough one.
Which James?
The other one.
You can go Game Week 29 and just see how your team's shaping up for that game week.
FPL tips, YouTube, League Cup. I'm against Dan Francis. Flying donkeys. Yeah, to be fair, he's doing well. He's 11K at the moment, I think.
When you're going to triple captain, you can reset.
Yeah, so that's going to be a tough one for me as well.
Really cool website, literally launched a couple of days ago. So,
yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be a tough one. Yeah, so it could be going out in both competitions this week, but who cares? Unfortunately,
but they're both really good to be honest.
Should have not played that free hit last week, but it is what it is.
Have a look at the captain poll results in a second. I'm just going to put the.
It is what it is, unfortunately.
So go join this link if you are not a member of the Discord. It's genuinely good FPL resource, and they'll be on there throughout the game.
I have to hope for single gaming players like Cancelo, Trent.
Before we do, some of the things that are on the Discord.
Smith Rowe, Foden, Salah, and Lacazette to do well for me. Not all of them are going to do well. That's the problem.
Gaming stats.
Yeah, because I've already taken a -12. Just a shame that I have only one double gaming player during the week. But unfortunately, it is what it is.
I've got a new channel called Check Rank.
and you can link it to your FPL account. You just do +L, and it will tell you your live rank, even in the middle of the game week. So,
Yeah, so how many points am I down to?
yeah, if you're interested, links.
1,643 points at the moment.
As follows: Salah's top, 262 votes.
Yeah,
Salah.
just to show that
Second is
it's actually my
Coutinho,
biggest
196
hit
votes. Very interesting.
this season.
Third, just about, is Rudiger, 79 votes. Rafinha's got 75. 65 for other. I think I missed Reece James off the captain poll. He wasn't so much a
Captain
factor at the
poll.
start of the poll, but I guess he certainly is now. He's going to be my captain anyway. Jimenez.
Jay says,
Oops, hopefully we're live again.
cheers, buddy.
I think it crashed
All
for a
right,
second.
bye.
I don't know if you guys heard
Pop
on the stream,
down.
but it made a really odd noise and then it crashed.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're back.
No,
Russell
not
says,
busy.
bifocal, Ramsey for Gundogan or Jimenez for Edouard this week. But also with Game Week 30 in mind, for -12, really don't want to wildcard or use my last free hit left.
Last free hit yet.
Ramsey to Gundogan, I like that move. Jimenez for Edouard. I think I like the Ramsey move more, just about, but yeah, Edouard is a problem. Obviously, not going to get in good minutes.
Tickets are still continuing.
Jimenez an option as well, but I think I would go Ramsey, just about, not much in it. The problem with Wolves, like we were saying earlier, they've got this double now. They went blank in 30, but they're not an attacking side. They're really, really disappointing offensively. It's really in defence where the options are. So Jimenez, honestly, is not a great option in isolation. We're just considering him because of these blanks and doubles. So I think I'd go Ramsey.
Blanks and doubles.
If you can't afford Coutinho, that is. Dan Patterson says, only way to get a Chelsea defender this week is to sell Van Dijk. Is it worth
Sell Van Dijk?
I only have 0.3 in the bank, so I can't swap me out. I would be tempted to consider
I'd be tempted.
Reece James, personally, if I had Trent as well. If you don't have a Liverpool defender, then it's
If you don't have a Liverpool
I'd
defender,
be very tempted to do Van Dijk
Van Dijk.
James or Rudiger. I think if I had two Liverpool defenders,
if you have two Liverpool defenders, God, it's ticking fast now. Just 23 minutes to the deadline closes, everybody. That's all you have. Don't forget to lock in your team.
No, we're not.
As well.
I'm so sorry for the message I'm missing. I don't intend to do that. Alex says Bowen to Ramsey or Bowen to Van Dijk to Coutinho for. Hang on, Bowen to Ramsey.
Bowen to Ramsey.
Bowen and Van Dijk to Coutinho and James for a hit.
And James.
Yeah, I would take the hit. I like the Van Dijk and Bowen to Coutinho and James. Good pair of moves that. As long as you're set up for Game Week 30 there, Alex. Obviously, if that leaves you short in Game Week 30, then I wouldn't do it. Because obviously Bowen plays in 30. So does Ramsey. So there's something to be mindful of. But,
something to be mindful of. Going to go back to let's talk, Andy. Go back to him.
Work it over the next 2
Nave.
games.
Hello, General Sir. Are you out this morning, Nave? Just do my deadline stream.
Thanks for the 12 months, by the way. Azaro. Rafinha for someone.
Rafinha for someone.
Should I take? Because you want some for next week.
You want some for next week?
Rudiger in, Cancelo out. Possibly yes. That hit could repay. It's close, but
it's close.
Sarr and Ziyech good for this week.
Sarr and Ziyech.
No. I mean, which Sarr? Like Sarr for Watford's injured. Sarr for Chelsea is nowhere near nailed. Ziyech isn't nailed either.
Ziyech isn't nailed either.
Thiago Silva and Coutinho are miles better. Playing bench boost. What should I do?
Playing bench boost.
Or both from -8. Bamford's not an option.
No, Bamford's not an option.
Weghorst to Jimenez or Tierney to James. I mean, you want Tierney next week. So
you want Tierney next week?
Leeds versus Chelsea. New Leeds coach said players are overworked to pain them. James only risks his minutes. Is Leeds actually expected to win any of the 2 games? Possibly not, but winning.
Possibly
games,
not.
Right? You don't need to win games to get points. They're overworked. Yeah, but sure.
They're overworked.
In training, right? be very, like Leeds could get sucked into a relegation battle pretty easily.
Yeah, that's true.
Where are they in the table?
16th.
They're getting bad recently. They're 16th. They are 2 points clear of. They're 2 points clear of relegation, and the relegation, like Burnley have got a game in hand. So if Burnley win their game in hand, they're ahead of Leeds.
Yeah.
Same for Everton. So then Leeds will be in relegation. If you think that
Leeds could be the relegation zone. If Burnley win their game in hand and Everton win 2 games.
Maybe it will be, but I find it difficult to believe that.
I find it difficult to believe that.
Should I lose Sterling to Son? That seems like a pretty good move to me, yeah.
That seems like a pretty good move to me.
Captain Salah, Mendy, Bray, or Ramsey.
Ramsey.
Maybe even Salah. Bray if you want to go double game week.
Boy, if you want to go double game week.
Captain, Coutinho, bench 2, Robertson, Trent, Bowen, Cancelo. Probably Bowen and Cancelo. Can we have a captain poll, please, with single game week? The problem is I can only do, with captaincy polls, you can only, on YouTube, you can only do 4.
On YouTube.
So it's not really great for that.
So it's not really great.
So yeah, I can't really do it.
I can't really do it.
Like not with like all the options anyway.
Not with all the options really.
Cody from -8, and if yes, needs bench one from Trent Robertson or Livramento. No, I probably wouldn't do that.
No, I probably won't do that.
From -4. No, I probably wouldn't do that. Play on.
No.
Captain Mount or Rafinha. Van Dijk to really go for a hit, then switch next week. No.
No.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Any changes? I mean, I'm going to get Keane. Interesting.
Keane?
I don't think
Interesting.
players is that crazy. But
That crazy?
We'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, it looks okay. I don't like Lukaku at all in the wildcard.
I don't like Lukaku at all.
Lukaku out game week 29. I wouldn't set yourself up for 2 transfers.
I wouldn't set yourself up for 2 transfers.
And that team sounds like you're going to need a free hit in game week 30 as well. So
game week 30.
Any good defenders for long term apart from Arsenal, Wolves,
Chelsea probably.
Liverpool, let's not forget, Liverpool defenders are still good, by the way.
Liverpool defenders are still good, by the way.
Double game week next week. They've got okay fixtures afterwards as well. Like Liverpool defenders aren't suddenly bad. We shouldn't think that they are just because a lot of us are looking to transfer them out.
Look at the transfer now.
Chelsea got a ridiculous double. How long we got? 18 minutes. I'm going to make my transfer in a minute because I don't want to mess it up.
He's going to make his transfer?
I don't want to mess anything up this week with the bench boost and stuff.
With the bench boost and stuff?
For Gundogan or Jimenez for Edouard. Really for money, so I really don't want to do wild card. I mean, honestly, I think you could do both those moves.
I think you could do both those moves.
If I'm honest, I don't know how much emphasis to put on the fact
that
rested last week. He hasn't played well, but they did.
He hasn't played well.
When games were in quick succession, which to be fair, they weren't, I guess, last week. That he might need a bit more of a rest.
He might need a
bit
of a rest.
So I think Jimenez for Edouard is okay.
It's okay.
It's probably okay as well. I think both those are okay. If you have to do both,
So instead
of Son, yeah, I don't mind that at all. Currently on a -4. Think about going up to -8 and taking out Foden for a Chelsea midfielder. Have wildcard for later on in the season. Yeah, I quite like it. Foden to Mason Mount could definitely pay off over the next couple. Robertson or Tierney. Robertson. Morpay or Saka.
Saka.
Trent or Luke Dean. Trent, I guess.
Trent, yes. I want to try to have everything. Could have to put something on.
Kane, Fraser, Jimenez or Wood, Watkins, Son. I don't know really. Watkins, Son. I don't know if Jimenez keeps starting.
If Jimenez keeps starting.
Again, I'm going to bring in a Chelsea player, but I think people go.
He's going to bring in a Chelsea player.
In this team. I don't know. I think it's a bit weird. I know they've got a great double, but it doesn't mean we have to lose our minds about having to
Lose
cancel
our
Ramsey.
minds.
I'm just looking to see how many more people are captaining Reece James.
How many people are captaining Reece James?
Geordie captaining Reece James. Pirlo's Pen captaining Reece James. Nathan Bacon's captaining Rudiger.
Nathan Bacon is captaining Rudiger, like myself. Don't forget to subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now. And follow him on his TikTok page as well, by the way. He's very funny. Nathan Bacon. Don't forget to subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now.
Salah is good, right? But
I don't know.
Daisy FPL captaining Reece James.
Wow.
These mad people.
These are mad people.
Could be great. It could be absolute gold.
Could be absolute gold.
Audit, my Captain James, undecided.
Walter, Captain James.
I can't do it to myself. I can't do it.
He can't do it to himself. He doesn't like captain the defender, does Andy?
I don't know what would make me do it. Like, if he played a full, I mean, he did play 63 minutes in the FA Cup.
He did play 63 minutes in the FA Cup. To be fair, I don't.
FPL strategy, Captain Rudiger.
Captain Rudiger.
FPL Fraser, Captain Rafinha.
Rafinha.
Looking through my Twitter timeline, looking through the chat as well. Jimenez captain? Nah, I really don't.
Jimenez captain? No.
FPL
no.
Captain Reece James as well?
Oh my god.
Simply FPL wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror.
Look myself in the mirror.
I think it's a bit of an unknown as well. How would the new Leeds manager get played?
How did the new Leeds manager? I don't know.
On a wild card, Sisa Martinelli or Pedence and Sisa Martinelli.
Martinelli might not be starting. Could be Smith Rowe. That could be starting today.
I think Alonso starts too. Mad captain. I don't think it's completely mad.
I don't think it's completely mad.
Sorry, then James will definitely play. James will be first choice right back.
James will be first choice right back.
Van Dijk, James, or Tierney, James, and Saka to Ramsey. Probably Van Dijk, James.
Van Dijk.
Thoughts on, especially if you need him in game week 30.
In game week 30.
Thoughts on wild cards? Ramsdale, Size, James, Bernard, Rafinha, Ward-Prowse. Ramsdale, Trent, Cancelo, Lacazette. Wow, okay.
Wow, okay.
Looks good, yeah. Looks good. I don't really have too much to say about it.
Too much to say.
Really good on Willock, worth a -4.
Worth a -4.
Who the vice captain? Havertz, James, or Salah? James. I'm gonna put my vice captain on Reece James. That's as exciting as I'm prepared to go. Right now.
Is he gonna get Reece James? Oh, he's getting rid of Van Dijk. Oh, he only had one transfer.
James is right. That's definitely the right one.
Oh, he's done it. Oh, he's done it.
I'm not gonna cheat and keep him on my bench. I'm gonna bench Saka. So my bench boost.
Oh man, he's got James. Sorry,
Am I gonna vice captain?
Yeah. So he's got Reece James in, has Andy? How many double game week players does he have?
It looks different. No bench boost.
Four.
No bench boost. No bench boost.
He's got 8.
It would have been ideal.
He's got 8.
If Arsenal Chelsea had gone into game week 28, that would have been ideal.
That would have been ideal.
I wouldn't have to make a transfer. I'd have 3 extra double game.
Just a shame that I have 5 double game week players.
Ramsey and
shame.
Maybe even Trent.
Well, unfortunately, as I said, it is what it is. Because I've already taken the 12-point hit going into this game week. Oh God, oh my!
Exactly what I said. Oh, did I just say Chelsea instead of Arsenal? Maybe.
Maybe.
I did. It's Arsenal, yes.
It's Arsenal, yeah.
It's saved. It's saved. Look.
It's saved.
Points back. It's saved. The save is grayed out. It's definitely saved. As much as I am panicking.
It's definitely saved.
I hope I get big points this week. I hope I get big points.
I think you will.
I said Chelsea. I apologise. As you can see, it's Arsenal. It's very obvious. It's on the screen.
It's on the screen.
Am I now cheering for or against Reece James? Wait, what? For, of course. I mean, if Reece, I'll tell you now, if Reece James, Reece James gets like 15 to 20 points or something crazy like that, obviously in hindsight, I wish I captained him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be worried at all.
He's not going to be worried at all.
I'm not going to be worried whatsoever.
Whatsoever. Check when was the last time Rudiger scored.
I don't think we're going to get through them all. Jimenez or Coutinho? Who the vice captain? Oh yeah, did that one.
Who the vice captain?
Start of Dubravka versus Ramsdale. I think Ramsdale's probably better for the long term.
Yeah.
I haven't massively looked into it. Lacazette or Jimenez? Lacazette. Slice or Cody? I mean, Cody's absolutely nailed on.
Cody's absolutely nailed on.
Rudiger 40-yard banger.
Last time he scored.
Rudiger's a great option this week. I'm not writing Rudiger off at all. James is just
away at Leicester. In game week.
Oh, you're talking about
12.
Ownership.
That was the last time Rudiger scored.
I mean,
he has to score this week, hopefully.
Rafinha will probably be over 100%. I don't think Reece James.
He has to score this week.
In general, might be over 100% effective ownership.
9 minutes ago to the deadline closes.
I hate it when there's multiple players you don't want to score.
Sucks.
Reece James captain or Rafinha. Boom. It's on the screen. That's my opinion. You can go different if you want. Play Kane or Broya.
Broya.
Would you change? What would you change about the first 11? Saka, Trent, Cancelo on the bench. Jimenez, Watkins, Adams, Ward-Prowse. Nothing, to be honest with you. Bench boost. I mean, who's the bench? Superstar Diver. What's your bench? You've listed the whole team.
You listed the whole team.
Yes, you could. You've got the wild card left. You could save it, but it looks to me like you've got a pretty good bench for this week. I'd probably save it if I had the wild card. Sanchez Dubravka -8. Yeah, I think that probably pays off. Captain Reece, you know you want to join us now. Masterman bench boost. Game week 25. Free hit 27. Wild card 28. Free hit 30. 600k up so far. Very nice.
Very nice.
Bench Brian and bringing James for Dallo for a hit. Already taken the -8.
Already taken the -8.
I'm getting a bit excited now, though, so don't necessarily take
He's getting a bit excited.
Ramsey versus Rudiger versus Rafinha captain. Rafinha, Livermore as a captain.
Livermore's captain.
No, he's okay, I guess.
He's okay, I guess.
On a free hit, Havertz on man.
Actually, got to put on something.
I'll go for. I think I'll go for Havertz.
Oh, jeez.
I think I'll go for Havertz. Ryan Fraser, the ultimate differential as captain. He is a differential. Let's say
he is a differential. Just want to put on my socks.
FPL Focus, Captain and James.
FPL Focus, it's Captain and James. Wow.
Pays off. Happy days.
Pays off. Happy days. Pays off.
I know there is someone knows, I believe.
There is someone that knows.
Would they be as attacking? Would they be a bit more defensive?
Would they be a bit more defensive?
All this kind of stuff.
All this kind of stuff.
Okay, as option.
It's option.
And I don't really have many doubts about.
I don't really have many doubts.
Not enough to not bring him in, but to captain him. I'm not going to go for it. This is my opinion. If you want to captain
that's my opinion.
Absolutely, go for it. It's going to be pure luck if Captain Reece James.
It's going to be pure luck.
I am a little bit tempted to switch.
A little bit tempted to switch.
The main thing I like about
it. The main
kind of thing why people are kind of happy to do it is.
Happy to do it is. Is he playing as bench boost? Oh, I think he's activated his bench boosters, Andy, I think. Unfortunately, I'm not activating my bench boost, unfortunately, because I don't have enough. I'm afraid. Deadline.
As well, I think. So it's a
What am
pretty
I
good
do?
team.
Oh, he's captain James.
The only worry, I guess, is we'll have to see whether Wolves
He has 9
are
double game week
keeping
players.
keeping clean sheets.
9.
So we'll see whether they improve.
Oh, he's playing Dan Burn.
Watford fixture is the one I would look at to lock in.
2 Wolves defenders.
Especially now, Ismail Assar has been confirmed out from the next couple of weeks, I think, from Watford. So that really does put the nail in the coffin.
Nail in the coffin.
But I think you've got to be reasonably confident for a Wolves clean sheet against Watford.
5 minutes go to the deadline closes.
Quickly race through my team. It's not actually too.
5 minutes.
To yours.
I'll check. Have I saved my team?
Dubravka,
On the camera.
And what was it? Aldenia, I think. Yeah, because you have Dan Kilman, and Foster. Yeah, it's literally those 3 players.
Rebecca minus 12 points.
It's funny.
Yeah, so gotta hope. Unfortunately.
Pretty aligned there, but yeah, the bench is exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Bench boosting is really
I'd be happy to get around 100 points. Or, well, 100 and... Yeah, probably about 112. So that will give me 100 points this week.
Very happy with this. Hopefully, plenty of green arrow.
That's a big risk. Two Wolves defenders.
Yeah,
big risk.
I actually moved Robertson to James, and I think it was probably a little bit of a harder move.
Could have gotten size, actually, but decided not to.
Obviously, these Liverpool guys double in 29, don't they? So it's really difficult for me.
Really difficult.
Future, because you just literally.
Really just hoping.
Captaining the player that you're bringing in probably just swayed it for me, and I think either Inzaghi, like you and I, can either take a hit next week. For that double, or you stay strong.
You stay strong.
Transfer to strengthen the team 30 to bring back in the likes of Leicester players or enhance on the Spurs.
Enhance on the Spurs.
To get through 30. Presumably, you are not re-hitting in 30, am I right?
That's correct, yeah.
That's correct.
So you get 10 or 11 players out.
3 minutes to the deadline closes.
You're getting millions of double game players next week. Although, it is a balance in that. So.
The balance.
I wanted to just quickly ask you about that, Ted. Like you mentioned selling Robbo to a Chelsea defender. I think a few people in the chat might be thinking about getting on the Chelsea train. There might be a bit of
getting on the Chelsea train.
Yeah.
So back to Andy.
James.
James.
I don't think so. I'm probably going to.
I don't think so.
I don't really
like out to leave the house probably about 12 o'clock because I had to get something for later on today. Unfortunately, being Padfield today. Unfortunately, for me. 2 minutes to the deadline closes.
He's a nice option if he starts twice.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, so my team for the last time. Dubravka in goal. Cancelo. Rudiger's my captain. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Digne. Emile Smith-Rowe. Foden. Rafinha. Salah. Up front, Lacazette and Joshua King, my bench. Ramsdale, Jeroboam, Dawson, and Belkhorst. So that's my team. I'm not going to make any more transfers because so 12 point hit. Unfortunately, I have to take it.
Steve-O, he's captain of Reece James as well.
Steve-O's captain of Reece James as well. Yeah, once it gets to 11 o'clock, my time will be up. Yeah, so we're coming up to that time now. Yeah. Everyone's picturing
the clean sheet. Burnley, then you got Norwich to come.
You got Norwich to come. That's it.
I mean,
Time is up. The transfer deadline is now closed for double game week 28. Yeah, so thank you for watching this 2 hours on TikTok on my page. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and best luck to everybody in the Fancy Cup who are still in the Fancy Cup. And have a great weekend. And I'm going to love you, leave you, all shoes, sound true, stay clever, thinking together, and love you all. And have a great weekend. And always stay together and stay safe as always. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.